All right, let's get flying on in here to game 3 between EDG and Gen G. Gen G finally taking a game off of EDG, kind of slapping back in that second game. Looked really good, looked really convincing. And now Viper gets his Lucian one more time. Let's see if you're actually going to get Mako the Nami, because that looked like a pretty powerful pick, or that's the powerful combo. And that was what got EDG their first win in this series. So let's see if Gen G, Ruler in Life, can actually counter that. They're going to go for the Misfortune Lulu again, so keeping the consistency. Hopefully BDD actually goes for a better mid laner, because they're getting the Lee Sin. We're kind of running this entire situation back. EDG is getting the Jarvan as well. So we're kind of going back to game 1. Bans are quite similar. Yep, Aphelios, Graves, Syndra. No changes there. A Jace ban before, but instead we're going to have the LeBlanc, Twisted Fate, Rise. So getting really close to the same bans from last time. Maybe just a Jace ban here from Gen G just to keep Flandre limited, since the Grave was already got taken out. Just kind of just reliving game 1 right now. Azir gonna get banned outside of EDG, Kennen the likely follow-up, and they're gonna get rid of Orianna. So getting rid of the Scout JJ ball delivery system. Decent adjustment, and Jace has been, I feel like he's had more of a band presence than actual game presence in this tournament. At least it's my current vibe. I don't exactly remember for sure. And finally, yep, there's going to be the Kennen. So EDG still mimicking game 1 patterns and kind of asking Gen G is like, can you beat what we brought to you in game 1? Because game 2 strategies didn't really work out. The Jinx looked pretty good, but just couldn't really get to where it needed to go. And Zoe in for BDD, I like this. I really like this out of Gen G, because BDD Zoe was the game changer, was what won them their third game against Cloud9 to close out the series, just from the bubble picks and everything. But they're going to steal away the Gwen. So that'll actually be Flandre setting, well, kind of saying that he's going to be able to beat Rascal on whatever Rascal decides to pick. And I kind of get the impression Flandre is saying, yeah, Rascal, you can't Jax like I could. Scout looking for another control mage. It's going to be the Victor, so priority is going to be over in Gen G's corner. This does set up Gen G to actually have a very good early game, at least in the mid, and bot lane will sway back and forth for at least priority. This does mean that as the game gets later, like, Scout's going to become a monster for the team fight. It's going to be able to zone out and just get so much damage out and will be very threatening. Rascal floating that Renekton one more time. That did not work out. At least in the early game, they did win with him on the Renekton in game 2. So Gen G with a pretty mediocre team fight, I would say. Rascal going to be able to make some space, able to tank up a bit. Clid, it's going to be on him again, it looks like, for really nailing any engages outside of BDD throwing bubbles. So Gen G kind of lacking a lot of options. JJ is going to be a pretty easy engage for them. Mako with the waves could really zone out. So yeah, EDG, I'm kind of giving them at least the engage in terms of agency. But it's all going to be kind of on JJ to find that. Unless they're just going to play like a 1-3-1 and just let Flandre just run over Rascal and just split push their way to victory.
Final looks from the coaches. Game 3. What of these teams is gonna be on match point?
Yep, this will be the setup. This will set the tone. This will set the tone of how close it's get, because the hype keeps building. One of these teams will be going to the finals after today. Just need 2 more wins in either column.
Or is it going to be EDG trading back and getting to that second win? Viper was a huge difference maker last time around. He and Mako won the 2-on-2 with just a little bit of help, and it snowballed. This game, I mean, this entire series has been first jungle gank in bot lane has made that lane free.
Exactly. I think EDG here should not divert game plan towards the top side. They've shown that, investing a lot up towards Flandre isn't going to return a lot. Meanwhile, bottom side, Viper and Mako.
Yeah, Viper Mako might be the better investment here. I still have a lot of faith for investing into Flandre. It's just that when that happened in the second game, in the last game, Rascal was just way more comfortable, way more prepared to, kind of get hurt early on. Once it got a little bit later, he was able to kind of run over Flandre quite effectively. I think that might change up a bit. Kind of favor the Gwen in the extended trades against Rascal, especially once the mythics and all that sort of, you know, Omnivamp is in play.
Thing is, your boy Flandre is taking the ignite on top side.
Flandre is looking for the fight. He's looking to mess with some people. No Ghost in the pocket. Might find Rascal here.
Throw down. The E start on Gwen is very, very difficult for anybody to fight, even with the nerfs to it. So Rascal backs off, not going to take any early damage.
So giving that space away.
I feel like for EDG though, it's fine if they want to put some early attention into Flandre. It feels like that's what they've done at least somewhat consistently. But then I feel like after you get Flandre ahead, it's about pivoting down towards the bottom side.
Yeah, well, either way, it still ends up with them going to the bottom side of the map here, trying to get Viper ahead. Because once again, he's probably going to be one of the best early investments that EDG can have in this game.
Pressure on the lane. EDG on the bottom side, though. This is where it all happened. All the magic for EDG in game number 1.
All right, good bit of trade out here on the bot side. Mako going to be brought down to half at least, but the ebb and flow should work out in their favor. Now, what I'm really looking for, because I didn't see it before on Life, is actually just making Viper into pretty much a harmless squirrel. That's going to be kind of, I think, the make or break sort of how the fight can go. The exhaust is going to be really important from Ruler, but Life last time when they were running the Lucian in game 1, I just didn't feel like Life was really, you know, whimsying Viper like he should in these, at least in the 2v2s. Oh, nice good little double up there. It's going to hit Viper and Mako. So yeah, major prio over to Gen G. They're going to have at least the early push here bot side. Junglers, though, are going to be clearing from top to bottom. Krug's left up for at least Clid right now. And this kind of means that, at least with the prio, JJ is going to actually get that bot side scuttle and keep them pretty safe. BD actually going to pick up just the right spell to get himself out of that grab. Scout kind of losing the RNG war right there, which is really unfortunate to say the least. And BDD with all the luck in the world apparently. Now, nothing too crazy anywhere else. CS leads, nothing too crazy just yet. Bot side's doing pretty well, 10 CS lead for Ruler this early on. Now Rascal will trade on and gonna get his spell rotation off on to Flandre. Alright, and now this has gotten pretty interesting. So yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, JJ force top side to at least get that Scuttle Crab. He's gonna back off. Maybe start heading over to his Krugs right now to at least finish off his clears. Actually, I had to waste a lot of time going from like red buff all the way back up to the top Scuttle. And it's gonna give Clid some time to actually like go in, get some vision, try to have some wards there to spot out where JJ is. I don't think they actually know for sure where he is right now, but he will be finishing off his Krugs. And that bot lane's still pushing in. Viper and Mako still on the back foot. The early trades really allowing Ruler and Life to kind of take over.
This time around, not going for any shenanigans. He knows his lanes are a lot more about scaling. Even now, I like that he saved his Krugs for last for a time where Clid...
JJ is here. There is a decent walk back, but it looks like he's going to back off. Flandre going to teleport back in, just trying to keep the pressure here onto Rascal. I'm going to at least have one Doran's item advantage. Clid on his way here, and Flandre might be in some trouble. Here comes the teleport in from BDD, and I think Flandre might find himself with a bunch of pain in tow. Kill's gonna be confirmed here, going over to BDD, and this is the proactivity that we're finally seeing out of Gen G here at this tournament. No more of the days of nothing, of no action, of no plays, of waiting to die. Gen G are here to actually fight for their chance, fight for their right to perhaps go up and face Damwon Gaming in the World Finals.
Head in hands. Oh no, I have sinned, and it is gonna be pain.
And I feel like Gwen, especially when she falls behind, it can be very awkward and very hard to find opportunities to come in the game in skirmishes or in team fights.
Oh, here comes the trade-off here. Rules have to play super careful here, but there's the polymorph that we're looking for. That's what I'm talking about here. Viper now going to be in super trouble here, and Life's kind of ready to walk him over, and he's going to be able to get the kill, and that's what I was waiting for. That's what was missing in game 1. Life's going to go down, but that's just a kill for Mako. That's not a kill, like, that's bloodthirsty supports, but that's what was missing. That's what I was looking for. You don't need to put all your spells onto Ruler. Put them on to onto Viper. Turn him into a frickin' squirrel. Turn him into a fuzzy little nothing. So he can actually do any damage, and he ends up just being kind of, you know, isolated, and the spells just aren't allowed to be used on him. So Life finally figuring it out. Like 3 summoner spells used on the side of Gen G. Flash still available, and only Flash available on the side of Viper. That's what I was looking for, because before I think Life put all of his spells on to Ruler, but once you polymorph, once you polymorph him, it doesn't. It kind of came in later. They were pretty good at reacting this time to the exchange, but Flash gets the help picks and finishes the rest of it off. Mako forced to flash in to try to at least trade that back, but this just means Viper's gonna have. He's gonna be a little bit behind on. Well, he was behind on XP and gold and CS. He's currently even with actually a level advantage over Ruler. So weird flex there. I guess Mako spent a little more time out of lane than Life. No, Scott's not gonna be away for a while.
So for Gen G, I still feel like they're pretty favored to at least try and recreate the blueprint that they had from last game. It feels like EDG looked at this series as, okay, we know Gen G have the slower mid-game. They've opted into scaling every game so far, but Gen G are saying, hey, we don't only need to do that. We can just snowball early and look to out-skirmish you and end the game before you can do anything.
Yeah, Gen G very
kind of a weird gravity well there.
Still is going to be another look at Clid, who just finishes up his red buff and is going to be able to recall now to transition over. Dragon is ready and bottom lane pushing.
Ooh, that's a Sleepy Trouble Bubble connection. No chance to get the Paddle Star off for BDD, but that will push Scout out, force him to use his teleport, and that's gonna be gone for quite a while. BDD used his a long time ago. Now 8 o'clock has arrived on Summoner's Rift, and now EDG are going to rotate on up for the Herald. And here comes the early fight. Clid's going to get spotted, but he is in the area. Renekton, yep, Rascal making his way on down. Flandre not far behind him. Herald's going to be brought down to at least half health there with the last eye proc, but this could be a 4v5. Yeah, 5v5 up and available. BD needs to try to find something down to 1800. It's going to be a sleep on to Gwen, but he's going to be able to at least get his zone off. JJ is going to actually just get blown up, and he will go down here. And that's going to be a, Herald secured for Gen G, and now Rascal going all over. Gwen's going to go down, and that will be a very clean and very easy team fight win for Gen G.
So really no follow-up from the side of EDG allows for an easy pick for Gen G to turn the rest of the fight.
That was disgustingly one-sided right there.
Yeah, there was no chance there.
Flag and drag forward, and BD lands this bubble. What are you doing coming at me in a straight line? Go to sleep. They assassinate him immediately, and Clid is able to strike.
So let's look how this fight breaks down here. BD is just actually trying to pick someone out, trying to catch something. Comes on back, throws the bubble. It's going to hit onto Flandre. JJ goes in, but there's no one to really follow up. He gets polymorphed and just instantly blown up. Nice little bubble interrupt onto Clid there from Mako, but Rascal's here on the backside to just really mess them up. They take down Flandre as well, even though he tried to get out of that. So
You get polymorphed, you get kicked. That is just rough.
Even Rascal on the outside.
just not allowed to really play the game there for JJ.
Worry about this collapse coming from both sides, so no one can follow up the flag and drag from JJ. And overall, just really nice posturing coming out from Gen G. They were in unison with that play. And once again, 2,000 gold lead at the 10-minute mark for Gen G.
So hard to initiate as soon as one of your teammates gets slept like that, knowing you're not going to be able to, have any sort of bite behind it. Gen G though,
This feels. I mean, and they know the read, but
Yeah, Life and Ruler aware of this play.
it is going to be farm bled out. Viper says, "Yeah, I was
Yeah, it looks like JJ's going to just need to back off. Viper is just going to shove this one in.
around, it's like, all right, you can show up, but nope, they don't want to bleed away the farm. They're going to go ahead and just push the turret, and Gen G make the right choice to sacrifice 3 melee minions, but not be ganked.
Yeah, I just curious how much EDG are putting into this play, feeling like they're falling behind and need to find something.
Yeah, JJ's still here. Still waiting for this. They're looking for like a dive or something.
Really good respect coming out from the side of Gen G, while Klid is just champing through his jungle, farming his camps. JJ now going to be a bit behind in terms of tempo.
And takes the recall, goes back to the top side. Okay, camps to clear out right there. But wait for the mythic timing. We have yet to see a dragon claimed. The Rift Herald belongs to Ruler, which honestly guarantees you're getting the money on a misfortune.
Yeah, more or less so. Yep, not too much going on here. Good little paddle star there onto Scout. But now it's just a kind of a waiting game. Gen G looking for their next play, maybe for the next teleport play. They're going to be able to get the first Drake. So Gen G in control here. 2.5k gold lead for them at 11 minutes. They're going to be able to actually get this Drake. The Herald should be dropped by Ruler sooner than later. They just need to at least get a good push in the bot side. Good wave stacked up. Now just kind of waiting for like when that play is going to come around. That'll be a connection, and that will be just short. Oh, Rascal, I think he'll be in trouble here. Needlework's going to come out here from Flandre, trying to get a little more damage there with those auto attacks, but it will not be enough. Razor, a Rascal forced to... Oh, last Needlework. It's going to force the Dominus out. Keeps that ultimate exchange even, but Klid is here, and Flandre is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's actually going to get himself just on the other side of it. The kick has put him into the wall, but he's going to be able to hold down, and that's going to be a wasted ult, or at least a wasted play there. BDD is going to be able to get the counter kill onto JJ. No one's actually died on the side of Gen G just yet. Life in a bit of trouble, but now trying to snipe out Scout. It will not be for... It will be for naught. Now Rascal on the run from Flandre right now. Oh, the gravity well preventing Klid from following that. Get the resonating strike onto Scout.
And we saw in the mid fight that EDG really didn't have the damage to match Scout's damage output, nowhere near what BDD does, and even BDD and Ruler both.
Very special little interaction and play there. It's almost as good as that Darius ult that we had years ago, where it's like Darius like full peak of his swing down on his ultimate on his guillotine. But it will be for not. Scout gets to live another day. So 3-0 right now for BDD. He's secretly kind of gotten himself quite far ahead. Sleep's actually going to get put out, and... Oh, there's going to be the engage there from JJ, but it's just not going to be enough here. The flash out, bullet time from Ruler, and Nanostorm following him, but he's already got the overgrowth or whatnot from Life, from Lulu, so he's perfectly fine. And EDG not looking very powerful in this third game right now. Gen G kind of playing more than we expected.
What I would assume would be bot side, and going for those plays that we were hitting on earlier about Klid and BDD syncing up to put pressure on Viper and Mako.
And they got the dream first objective of mid turret being down. Zoe just has a field day now. Lyric, not only has he gotten 3 of the kills, so Zoe's gonna pack a much bigger punch here, but also so many walls now he can slip over to. You see the kind of bloom of vision around that mid lane. Towers down, now the wards are there, and those bubbles, he has just been so accurate with them.
And now a big thing to look out for too is if Gen G will look for an opportunity to potentially punish Scout with Flash, because you can see on the minimap, Scout is so afraid of walking up. He's an immobile man.
Yeah, Scout's not able to do anything.
On the opposite side from the mid jungle 2v2, you have push coming out in bot and top.
Klid about to get at least deal with a little bit damage, getting a little caught out there. 2 minutes till the next Drake. Second Herald is going to be on its way. JJ's kind of the only one near it right now on the side of EDG. EDG need to kind of find what their new win conditions are going to be. Sleep's going to connect on to Scout, and I think he's going to be in a bit of trouble. That's going to be a follow-up here. Easy for Klid. And now JJ's going to actually exchange places with BDD just long enough to get stunned. And now BDD, I think you're going to go down here. Good trade-off. Good capture there by JJ. And that'll be mid laner for mid laner. Teleport only available on Scout right now, so he'll be able to get back out on the map a little bit faster. They will both be alive for the Drake or the Baron, but Herald is still left up and available. Ruler though, gonna get the second turret here. So Gen G starting out this series looking really strong here, kind of priming themselves to actually be at the 2-1 scoreline against EDG, against like kind of like the series favorites. Scout Oh, this bubble, he steps back into it, trying to miss it, but gonna find it over the wall. Clid and BDD thinking that they can actually catch JJ here, but unfortunately Viper has arrived and he just has the damage to put it down. Blows up BDD and gets himself his first kill of the game. And now it looks like, okay, Herald has risen. Clid is going to focus on that.
Will just continue to leverage their advantage over here on the top side. They don't rotate BDD over. He's going to bottom side to pick up the extra minion waves because they've got everything wrapped up there. And can he make another individual play? Yes.
That's going to be the sleep. Paddle Sword going to come out. And that's going to be a big damage there on the scout here. Now BDD going to be able to get himself a little bit of trade back from Scout. Rascal going to get the third turret here for Gen G. They are kind of really schooling EDG right now. 5,000 gold leader at 16 minutes. Gen G pretty much full and ready and able to actually take this, and that's going to be an easy charge off for the Herald. Get some turret damage there on tier 2. That's going to be Dragon secured. Rascal, I think you've arrived at the wrong time here. BDD is also going to be in a little bit of trouble. JJ going to run. Rascal's about to be in a 1v3 here. Wave's going to knock up Ruler, but Rascal, Dominus up. Clid looking for a target to actually kick back into his team here. Life, not that far behind. Stun's going to come out. They're actually going to be able to jump onto Viper. He will go down. That's a massive amount of damage coming out there from Scout. It's not too much. They are able to actually like come out on top of that, but Clid kind of got melted there.
Only go positive 1 kill on the play. Ah, there it is. The answer teleport comes out, so there's no objective in response. And the no extra gold here for Flandre. Is going to have to run his way right back down the lane. Not going to get chased down, even though he doesn't have any escape summoner spells. Definitely going to be progressing the game forward. And the dragon being picked up, maybe that delays some of the progression there towards ult, but here it is trying to really make use of the teleport discrepancy. They've got the extra person down here, so they're committing to that play.
Yep, big commit. What was the damage out here? Ooh, yeah, it's going to be the laser from Scout to actually finish off the Lee Sin. I was kind of curious about that one. All right, so let's look at here. Gold, total gold on hand. BDD leading the way at 8K right now, 7.5K for Ruler. And Viper not that far behind at 7.3K. So all of that puts a lot of the onus on to Viper to really carry this, because like Scout's like nearly 2K down, like 1.6K down from at least the other players in the game, and he is it's not ideal. It's not what you want for your mid laner. He's been zoned off, and true enough. But that Victor is going to be their best sort of team fight tool outside of Viper as a player, just being able to outmaneuver any of the attacks from Gen G. And there is the second item, Cosmic Drive. I imagine it's still being questioned in regards to just being able to nail the right amount of spells with just what Zoe does. I thought like the Horizon focus would have been a much better second item, but we're going to leave that one alone, leave that to the churchgoers. 2:30 left on the Cloud Drake. Baron will be up soon enough, so 20 minutes, only 40 seconds away.
It even goes to show that BDD has kind of said, I don't care about the meta, right? They've banned away what were the perceived best champions who players in group stage consistently.
Bot side, jungle going to be taken over by Gen G. Mako and Viper forced to back off to their tier 2 turret, while Rascal pushes bot side, trying to get this tier 2. Gen G has made their way on down. And while Flandre may be able to actually finally get EDG a second turret, that is in light of this tier 2 being taken down, which is going to be a much better trade. Scout putting out the Nanostorm here, trying to really scare off and push away Gen G, and I think he just might have. So Rascal and everyone else kind of leaves. Flandre left topside. He's going to be able to actually even get steal some Krugs, and I think he'll even be able to actually get a bit of damage on the turret by the time anyone gets back here. Lulu backing off right now. Ruler's still walking around in river. Just, I think he might have... Nope, did not secure the crab. It's not up yet.
I feel like the thing I'm afraid of for EDG is that EDG aren't really used to being in the position of playing from this far down. This is a problem a lot of teams like EDG, FPX, RNG have because they're so dominant in the LPL. They always have like 2 to 5K gold leads at the
Mythics finished for everyone, including the supports actually, so we are doing quite well in that manner. Still a 5K gold lead for Gen.G. They haven't really been doing much with it. They've been kind of lolling out, falling into maybe some old habits just a bit. But if I know anything, actually, after watching that T1 performance, I think they're going to start forcing around Baron. You can see right now, Clid clearing it up, and Viper not getting the same abilities, basically, or the same go-gettedness that we saw out of him earlier on in Game 1 when he actually just trashed Ruler, like, under turret, like, twice. That's what set that game off to such a flying start for Gen.G, I believe. Let's see. Alrighty. Now Gen.G just holding out mid. JJ coming in for maybe a collapse, but it's not going to be for much. And now Clouddrake's going to be up here. Second Drake for either team. I think they're going to look for a pick on Mako or Viper. Either pick would actually pretty much guarantee them this Drake. Rascal's going to keep pushing this one in. And we're not having too many problems here. So this is actually getting pretty... It's getting a little dire here for EDG at this point. Scout, I don't like him on this pick, especially for what he can do as their mid laner, as a fantastic carry, at least for the carry playstyle. And now Flandre's going to go on in here, but the bullet time is going to actually get a lot of damage done, a lot of damage across the board. The Mist not doing as much as it could do on account of his use pretty early in that exchange, and that will be the 5th turret for Gen.G, and they're just making their way in. They're just making their way towards this Game 3 victory, and frankly, it's going to be scary for some, but this is pretty much just prime Gen.G about like just making their way towards beating the LPL grand finalist for the summer playoffs. Just beating them in like a very simple like 3-1 fashion, which would be really surprising and really out of character for like kind of both teams here. If anything, we should start like kind of looking at EDG and going like, what can they get back in? And I think the first one is like, make sure you're not, kind of throwing it like they had in recent history. Just kind of these choking issues that limit their ability to just play at their peak kind of as consistently as you would want. Viper has gone in twice actually to try to get that kill onto Ruler, much like we saw in the first game, but it's not been coming to fruition, if I'm being honest. Instead, I feel like kind of super standard AD carry of just like, farm out the lane. Maybe you find yourself with a gank and that's why people die, but otherwise you just are happy to get your farm, happy to get your CS, and you just go about your day. And no, there's not really left on the field right now. Let's just see what else is being chatted about. Yeah. Yeah, if anything, actually, Gen.G might actually really need or want to scale or at least accelerate this game a little bit more. Flandre might have overplayed his hand there, kept Rascal safe and in the know.
Exactly. I want to say think about it very, very aggressive with their vision. They're taking over blue quadrant right now, setting up these super deep wards that allow for those bubbles. Yeah, BDD, we've seen him do it in Fog of War, but set him up with some vision too, give him a little help so he can find his targets.
And the side lane lead is still half a level. Rascal versus Flandre, it's about to be 15 apiece, but right now it is a deficit.
Gentlemen, the night is dark and full of terrors for EDG.
EDG with not a lot of options up and available. The vision is entirely in Gen.G's favor. There's barely even any wards in either of their jungles. BD is about to get caught out here by Viper. The shield's going to come out just in time from Clid, but that's Viper about to try to claw his team back into this game, and that's going to force BDD back. Flash burned as well. Yeah, and that's actually perfectly fine. That's going to allow EDG some breathing room. They're going to be able to get out into at least their bot side jungle. Kind of worried about that third Drake. And there'll at least be a blue ward top side here, but it's going to be cleared out here by Rascal.
route of like opting into bait out a Baron.
I'd say GNG's actually pretty much need to find themselves a more aggressive route here. If they can actually clear out this ward, it'd be ideal, but that's going to alert EDG that they're going to be starting Baron. JJ's going to start making his way up. They spotted 3 out of the 5. They know Gwen. All right, at least Flandre's bot side with Gwen. Rascal's hiding over here right now, looking for the flank, and they don't know he's here. Teleport's going to come in. Rascal looking for a reason to get over, and that ward's going to spot him. But now he knows he's threatening the backside. He's threatening to find his way in. And they're going to be able to actually push this bot lane out even more so. While EDG is still finishing up the mid-tier 1, which would be it's not that good of a trade, honestly, if you're doing an inhib tower versus mid-tier 1, and especially with the inhib. Can't exactly say this is too early for Gen G, but this does put a lot of pressure onto EDG's base with the super minions starting to spawn. And now they get to actually play around Baron for free, so we haven't even had to have any bloodshed to get this far. Like, BDD gets, you know, chunked out pretty well, and they lose, and they just trade out turrets, but the inhibitor going down is pretty massive, and kind of just allows Gen G to just do as they please, more or less. Rascal's hanging out, waiting for nonsense. And that will be a dead life here. Viper just kind of putting his team on his back right now, trying to actually find these picks, get these callings off to try to just melt these squishy members of Gen G. That Baron's going to be at half health here. Can Clid pull off another steal? That's going to be JJ brought low. The Sleepy Trouble is going to connect. He's going to have to move away here. Rascal on the far side is going to have to pop Dominus, but there's going to be enough damage here from Scout Viper to take him down. But they are, I think, all Gen G want is to keep EDG off the Baron, and that laser's going to go max range. It's going to take out Rascal. It's going to be some deep fried gator tail for EDG, and now they get to push on in here. Bullet time's going to come out from Ruler to clear out the wave, but Flandre's going to be able to ignore that damage, and now the turret lead has become even closer here. 5 turrets on the side of EDG, 6 on the side of Gen G, and now EDG, they might be greeting this a little bit too much. Rascal's going to be able to teleport in, but the ultimates are still missing from him and Ruler. Yeah, I think EDG are going to be able to actually get themselves their second Drake, which is going to push out like whoever gets sold by like in 10 minutes. Clid looking for a way in. He's actually going to be able to just walk in, and it's going to be secured by Flandre. So 2 dragons apiece. Everyone's going to have some cloud, some wind in their step. And everyone's going to be prepared for I guess everyone would want more than just the basic package. So, yep, there's gonna be the gold graph. It dipped down pretty well, getting down to like a 6k goldie for Gen G, but then they just couldn't really like bridge the rest of it. They were kind of just waiting for objectives to spawn, not really willing to go for any side lane plays, ganks, dives, or anything like that. And now it's gotten quite a bit closer, down to just a 2k gold lead for Gen G. And EDG with plenty of vision here around their topside jungle and in the river. So the Baron bait is not on the table like it was. It's much more probably about the Elder Drake.
So that's why we saw in the first Baron bait, Rascal having to go behind blue buff wall and trying to flank them out. But when they don't have that flank, Gen G actually aren't in a position to win out those fights.
So nice to see too, Viper not flinching, not backing down in some of these very dangerous situations. We mentioned how hard it has been for everybody to dodge out on bubbles, for everybody to be so afraid when you don't have vision, and Gen G have Zoe. But Viper has not backed down. Even with the couple of mistakes in the first game and getting caught, he's still playing so aggressively with this Lucian, wants to punish at every opportunity, using that ultimate to chase down and really leverage EDG some more breathing room.
So far, really good job coming out from Viper. He's been like the large playmaker, to where it feels like Scout has just been more of the backbone damage, being willing to come through. For the side of Gen G, it does feel like it still has mostly just been the BDD and Clid show, even with the series setting them up for success.
Yep. And that story's continuing on the count of Rulers. Probably the best contribution he's done so far has just been his ultimate, clearing the wave. He's gotten himself 2 kills. He's actually 6. Oh boy, Clid's gonna have to jump away here, but Viper once again looking for these picks here, getting boosted up by Mako, and that's gonna force away the jungler. Will EDG be bold enough to contest over for the Baron? Because it was not taken before. It's still sitting up and available. It's gonna be just mid pushes. Scout's gonna be forced to go catch this super minion wave. And this is kind of like the big dividend payoff for Gen G by taking that inhib. It is denying them quite a bit of gold. It's probably helping EDG bridge their gold difference a bit, just for how many minions are getting killed by the supers. But it does mean pressure, and if they can use that right, they may find themselves with a window to take out the Baron. But Viper, if you saw that trade there on the BBD, on the damage on the BDD, he is unafraid and very willing to face the Zoe and shoot her right in the face. So big props on to Viper, because he's kind of been like the person with, you know, proactivity and agency on EDG in this game. Like, Scout's been waiting forever for to actually scale up as Victor, and that's going to be a catch on to Viper. He's going to be brought solo here. Bullet time's going to be cut short. Doesn't really get anything else done. Going to be a slowdown here. Mako going to be forced to flash away. It's going to be the entire bottom lane's flashes are gone here. Viper and Mako much more vulnerable than they were like 30 seconds ago. And now Gen G, they're going to move for Baron, and they've got decent consistent damage here with Ruler on hand. Morales is going to back off here. He's going to be looking for a teleport play.
There's the ward. They spot what's going on. What's this play going to look like? 10,000 on the Baron. Scout wants to poke. Can't find it just yet. Viper is out of summoners. He's got no Gale Force.
Oh, BDD's behind.
Just his dash to live. BDD not going to land the first.
And this is where it gets dangerous here. But this is much like what we saw earlier in the playoffs, where if you actually are going to be walking into like a Zoe, especially for like a major objective like a Baron, like a Dragon, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of poke. It's going to be a lot of danger. Rascal going to be brought low, and that's going to be a big amount of damage here. JJ brought super low, and BD doesn't even need to finish him off. He's about to kill Mako, actually. Mako down to 1. Baron's down to 2k here. Clid trying to stay alive here. It's going to get secured by Ruler, actually. It's going to get stolen, and now it's time to run here for Gen G, and Flandre is going to jump on in. He's going to actually get his... Well, he's not going to get much else done. Viper here frontlining, and Scott's going to flash in to get the laser. BDD is going to go down here. This has been such a turning of events here. EDG have stolen the Baron, won the team fight, and I think they may be able to find themselves taking over and bringing this third game into their favor. And I think they're going to move bot side for this as well.
Scout, the scaling member for EDG, is able to get more gold in his pocket. The longer this game goes, the harder it's going to be.
Is this an attempt at a trap for Rascal?
Oh, it's going to be a trap here. Rascal's going to go down here. Major damage from Viper. And that's going to be that same play here. Enable the Viper and let him use his Gale Fort and Relentless Pursuit to just dash out, close the gap, and get into people's faces here. Clid going to try to prevent this third Drake. He did. All right, so they were able to actually secure it. I misread what was happening there. So Clid, the last one with Baron, actually on the side of Gen G right now, and it's not a lot of options. Scout's going to arrive to at least allow them to secure the Drake. It's gonna get reset, but it's gonna get secured. So third Drake for EDG. They are primed for Soul Point, and it's gonna be 5 minutes from now. It's gonna be like major damage, major concerns, especially if you getting that calling on a lower cooldown. Even the Cataclysm, like getting all these ultimates on cooldown is just going to be major. It's going to allow for them to team fight way more frequently, allow them to rotate across the map with consistency. And it looks like with the Baron buff, Gen G will secure their 7th turret. So yeah, still holding it down, still with a 3k goldie on the side of Gen G. The Baron kind of neutralizing any of the anything that was caught here. But yeah, good sleep on the JJ from BDD. And he just gets into Mako's face. He didn't get the auto off. Flandre standing here they keep trying to chase down Clid. He will get... Ooh. That bubble zones out Viper for just a moment. But that's a major jump there onto Life into Ruler. And so they're able to get out here. So yeah, Rascal and Clid with the Baron buff. They're going to be able to at least have 1 point of pressure. And they should be able to get this turret down. Clid forced to move away. And it's going to be needlework here. Flandre actually going to just start really shredding Rascal. But Clid's going to find himself in a world of trouble here. No stopwatch up and available. Only the Everfrost. The wave's going to come through, but it's going to be falling short. Empowered back from Rascal gets him out. And with 20 seconds left on this Baron, EDG kind of allowed to run back through, push this mid lane, get Prio, and see if they can actually find themselves some vision advantages, clear out some of the vision, or maybe even... Are they going to push up any further than this? Because one of them are... Yeah, BDD is kind of like their consistent wave clear on the side of Gen G. Rascal going to be looking for a flank. Dominus available. Bullet time's going to get used by Ruler to try to at least make sure the option is in there. Clit's clearing out Wolves, but that's not going to be for much. EDG shove up mid. but it is going to be thwarted entirely by Ruler. Now, all they can really do is just steal jungle camps, but I think that's pretty much a good consolation prize. Genji keeping their base intact, unblemished, and they still even have their tier 2 bot side turret. Little death brush here from EDG. No one's really going to take the bait. They're going to allow the mid wave to come all the way through. Flandre's going to go clear that one out. Genji not taking the bait. Rascal's heading bot side to keep that wave pushed up. And that'll be a full reset. All right.
We have cautioned against, the super strong scaling late game team and these advantages, and yet it has really been determined by those heroic plays on the world stage when there's so much pressure on you. Here in semifinals now, Genji are definitely going to need another big one.
Yep, big miracle moments required here for Genji if they wanted to stay alive in this game. Looking for BDD with those sleepy trouble bubbles. If he can get a connection onto Viper specifically, he's got a Quicksilver Sash, but at least burning those cooldowns would be major. Actually, I guess that sort of leaves Scout as perhaps one of the better targets, maybe the Gwen. If they can actually get JJ blown up, it would be pretty, I think that'd be also pretty fantastic. So BDD with plenty of sort of targets, Mako, you know, but everyone's getting scared on the side of EDG. We've started entering this late game area. It's going to be 3 items complete on the side of Scout. He's even got his Void Step in case anyone thought about building any amount of magic resistance. He's got his Cosmic Drive for reasons that are beyond our understanding, and of course his Mythic with the Luden's Echo. And I think he's heading for himself for a Death Cap, which would just put him into the nuclear category. Stop, watch, check, because we got a minute till the Baron and a minute till the Cloud Soul, and it's kind of a question of how do these teams want to position for this. Because Genji may want to deny the Cloud, but EDG may force them to split their decisions for the Baron. Still feel like it'd be in EDG's best interests to actually be first to the Drake, to at least have someone there to take it while they contest for Baron, or at least make sure that Genji cannot take the Baron without consequence. Alrighty. And here comes the bubble siege from BDD. Yep, and that Death Cap's completed for Scout right now. He is dang near max build right now. It's just Azania is all that's left. And these bubbles keep coming just short of EDG, but this is what kind of scary situation they're in. If Clid can get a kick onto Viper, bring him in, so Rascal's going to be able to dodge away. The Shurelya's Reverie keeping everyone safe, but Rascal getting cut in half now. And the advantage is in EDG's favor, trying to step forward, trying to use that window where there's no cooldowns available to take control of just a little bit more of this match. Scout going forward. Dominus forced out of Rascal, which felt a little unnecessary. BDD is going to try to find something on to JJ. Bubble's not going to land on anything either. Good news is that Rascal does have teleport to come back into this. But that's going to be Drake secured. Like, they've just actually let Flandre sit on the backside here. That's going to be Soul secured for it. But Bullet Time's going to go over. It's going to finish off Scout. And now Mako's down as well. It's just going to be Viper left, but Clid's on top of him. And he has his stopwatch up and available. Flandre, time to go, my friend. Is going to get slowed down by the Bullet Time. But Genji are in control of this fight here. Flandre is going to be left to the pigs, left to the sow, and now BDD is going to hold out JJ's stop. He's going to back where he's at. He's not in the brush here. BDD is going to spot him, but Viper makes it out alive, but the collapse onto Scout was impeccable, and now Genji actually get to push forward with this. JJ's going to try to actually clear out this wave and try to make it out alive. He's going to send him on a wild goose chase. Rascal's going to walk him out of at least his base. Teleport's going to come in from BDD, and this should be prime for at least... They should be able to get just the inhib. I don't think Genji should overextend, kind of like what they did, or at least what we saw earlier today. They're going to try to get the second inhibitor. JJ's going to go in one more time here. He's going to dodge out the Everfrost stun, but now there's major damage. Your life is super low. Viper still up and available. Mako there on his side, but now the turret plates are going down here. It's going to be a kick. It's going to be, Viper survives just enough here. The Sonic wave to Sonic, oh boy. Everything's going across. Everything's dying. Next is going to go down here, and that's a much better, cleaner finish here. Genji take game 3. Sorry for the muddled play-by-play there at the end. Too many things were happening. But now we are going to go find ourselves to game 4. Genji on match point, primed to go to the finals to face Damwon Kia, who is waiting to see who will win this series. EDG, they need to find their way back into this. because their game 1 strategy, they had exactly what they had before, and it did not work out for them. Let's see what they can change up for game 5.